Hey y'all, I'm back. Welcome to the Analytical Cry Show. Cheers. I'm back. Yeah, I know. Um, no real explanation, I guess. I've been very busy, very busy, and I think it was like just time to get back in the groove of things. And I'm back. I'm here to stay. We're gonna finish out the year strong, and then we're gonna go on a little hiatus again before season 2, because this still is season 1 of the show. And it's been a whole year, so technically, yeah. But I'm back, and I promise I'm here to stay. And for the rest of this year, I'm going to be uploading 3 episodes each Sunday of both the Analytical Eye Show and Light of the Sundays. But I thank you guys for tuning into another episode. I'm back. I'm excited. It's your boy Javier. You know who I am. I just been very busy. But cheers to you all. Now, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure you guys kind of wondering where I've been. Let's see. I started working full time again, and then, long story short, but I don't work full time anymore. Let's just say things got a little volatile where I was working. But not to disclose all of my personal business. My graduation has been delayed due to issues there as well. And let me be honest. As a 21-year-old, having my own apartment, working, and moved out of state, and I've always said this, and not to showboat, but I've always said nobody can do it like me. Nobody can do it like me. But I want to be honest. If anybody out there is ever watching this, because I've talked about so many things on my show, and this is before I segue into what I really need to talk about in this episode, things that truly matter. And I realized one of the things that, and I'm sorry if you guys hear anything in the background, those are my dogs. They're you guys seen them last time. They were puppies then, now they're even big now. But being a 21-year-old is so stressful. So stressful. And being a person that not only is semi ADHD, not ADHD, OCD, and semi perfectionist, and pretty much majority every aspect of my life, I put a lot of pressure on myself. And when I met my new neighbors that moved underneath me in my building, I told them, she lives in my building, and then there's another person that moved in the complex, but they came from Colorado together. I told them to make sure, and they did the smart thing, make sure, especially if you move out of state for college or any reason for anything, not just college, but for a new job or anything, make sure you move out there a couple of months before and get to know the city, get used to it, because it's a big move for your mindset, for your body, for your heart. Be prepared. I'm very impulsive, and I can do things and I can adapt very easily, but down the line it can become a little strenuous for me. And I just want to say that as for me being 21, it's been a little hard for me. And this kind of goes into the segue of what I'm talking about today, which is mental health. Because I have family that has mental health issues. It's very important that when you're transitioning from teenhood to adulthood, you're very honest with yourself, very self-aware, and very self-understanding to yourself. Okay, guys? To anyone that's watching that is from the ages of, I would say, 15 to now, of being 21, make sure you're prepared. Make sure you're asking yourself, are you ready? Are you truly ready? Because I moved down here to Florida with only $500 in my pocket, and I was staying at a hotel, and I was potentially going to be homeless, and then I finally found my way over time, and I'm still trying to find my way, even with being here down here for 3 years, and having to have been supposed to have graduated in November. Well, technically October, then November, and then now delaying it because of my mind is not there. Not that I'm not ready for graduation to move on into the master's program, but it's more just I feel like I have a lot of weight on my shoulders from a lot of different things in my life. And I feel that as a 21-year-old, I'm not fully understanding me and fully prepared. And on one side, I'm looking at it as, Javier, you got this. You about to graduate. You got your jobs. You got your dogs. You got your house. You doing the damn thing. And on the other hand, it's like, Javier, you're moving too fast. You got down here. You weren't prepared. You didn't scope out a job. You didn't find your own place. You moved down here rapidly. You didn't have a college fund. Your parents didn't set you up with that. You didn't fill out scholarships. You didn't do anything. You did everything so fast. And then on the other hand, it's like, Javier, you're impulsive, but that's a good thing because that works for you. You can't stay in places for too long because that doesn't fit your motto, what your life is about. And that's the reason why they're going into the entertainment industry, because you can have a job for 2 months or 10 years, but you can also do other things outside of that one job and keep you fresh and hot and new and understanding and vibrant. And then on the other hand, it's like, this is too much for me to bear. Can I really handle this? So I wanted to let you guys know, make sure you are prepared for you. Make sure you study you. Make sure you study the environment that you're moving to. Make sure whatever your decisions you go through, analyze them to the full capacity, from you need jobs, how you're going to feel, apartments, what kind of things may you experience while you move, or whatever things you do in life. Make sure you are in one with yourself. And over time, as we start talking more and more again, I will start to open up more about things that I want you to know. I will share things with you that I want you to know. And then things I don't want you to know, I will never share with you. So yeah, but I hope that you all had a great Thanksgiving. I really wanted to tap back in. Honestly, this last couple of months have been rough for me. Ever since my birthday, I then started staggering with the episodes, and I apologize, and then I just fell off the face of the earth with no notice, because I just got into a mental state of mind of not wanting to do anything. And sometimes it's like a gridlock with me with that when it comes to my writing, when it comes to my the shows and stuff. And it can be hard at times, y'all. So forgive me. I'm human, and it's just going to happen. Unfortunately, that's just how I operate. And I'm trying to evolve and get better at that. I will say, though, like I said, I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. And I will say that I do wish that I did a mother's special because my mom's birthday was in October, and so I apologize, Mommy. I know that we talked on the phone and everything like that, but I do want to still on my show wish you a happy birthday, happy belated birthday, and I appreciate you as my mother. I appreciate you as a confidant. You are a strong black woman, and I know that black women, you hate that terminology, but it's true. My mother, and the reasons I say that is not because she endured a lot, but it's because she's really strong, and she is woman enough to know that if she's not doing right, she's going to go to a doctor about it. She's going to go to a psychiatrist. She's going to go to a therapist and talk. And I didn't even know that my mother was going to a therapist until she made it to me a couple of months ago, and I was like, what? You go to therapy? Because you know, black people, we don't go to therapy. And this is leading into what I'm talking about today, mental health. And I'm not calling it mental illness, because this is not, when you have something going on with your brain, it's not an illness. It's nothing wrong with you. It's just tics and stuff that you just need to work out. Go to somebody that can get in there and help you tick that tick, and work it out and get it right. Just like Judge Lynn has said. So I want to pay homage to my mother. for being a strong black woman and being self-aware of herself. How do you think I've gotten this way? Is from her watching her and a lot of my craziness too. Sorry, mommy, I have to put that back on YouTube. You know, I like kids do by not what they say, by what you tell them, by what they see. So you know, and I've said that many times on this show. So yes, I've gotten that from my mommy too, the little craziness. So and the craziness runs in my family. But I do want to thank my mom, for raising me and putting and instilling that strength in me as a strong black man and being self-aware within myself. And I just wanted to say happy belated birthday again, mommy. And I apologize for not doing the birthday special. I need to do one, and I am going to do one. But I just want to thank God that you're still alive this day, and I appreciate you so much. And God bless all the black women out there that are mothers that are still alive and have had birthdays, or if today is your birthday, happy birthday to you. I want to thank you. I also want to thank and appreciate Monique. Her birthday was yesterday. And so I want to wish you a happy birthday, Queen, because you are rocking it. And you are a legend, and I appreciate you so much. And happy birthday to you as well, Monique. I thank you. I appreciate you. And I've been following your career ever since I was little, so I want to thank you. Ever since I saw Fat Girls. That was the first movie I ever saw by Monique. I think that was the very first time I ever thought about Monique. And I always was like, what is that movie where she's in the purple and it starts out in the purple? And I always, as a kid, I thought about that movie, and I never could find out what the fuck that movie was until I saw it again. I was like, I think this is the movie. And I saw it again, and I was like, yep, it is. So God bless you, Queen Monique. God bless you, Mom. You're a queen in my eyes too. So, but let's get started. Wait, is there anything else I wanted to? Yes, there is. Something else I wanted to mention before I get started, because I will forget. You guys know I have a bad memory. I have a good memory, but I also have a bad one. So let me go ahead and pull up what I was trying. That's right. I want to also claim and scream victory for Ahmaud Arbery. All of the 3 killers in that case were found guilty. Granted, I don't understand why one person was found guilty on everything and everybody else the other 2 got 2 or 3 that weren't not guilty. But whatever, that is justice. And I don't have anything nice to say. Because you know what I want to say. Like, go to hell. I hope you rot in hell. But, you know, I want to say, and truly, justice has been served. Justice has been served. Now, we're still waiting on Breonna Taylor and whatever's going on with the second round of the George Floyd case. With what's going on with that. I haven't been following that too much because I've been so busy, but I do want to. It was something great that has happened, and I'm proud that the justice system. I'm not saying that they are on our side, but they are. I feel like we're starting to see some change happen, and I'm glad that the justice system found them guilty in that regard. We still have a long way to go, but we're going, and we're making strides and improvements. And I just want to make sure I said that on this show before I did anything else. But moving forward, my Thanksgiving, and my Thanksgiving was pretty good. And I know I keep bouncing back and forth between stuff. My Thanksgiving was pretty good. I attended and intended to cook, and then my neighbor months ago invited me to her family's house for Thanksgiving, but I was like, okay, maybe she forgot, so I'm just gonna stay here and cook and do things myself. And then she finally came over and she grabbed me, and I was like, okay, you did remember and everything like that. So I went to her family's Thanksgiving, and that was great. And it was it was so many people there, and I know I told y'all I am not going to go out because COVID, and especially with this omnic variant going around, this new variant from Africa, I think that they said it's from. I think that's what somebody told me, but I haven't done any homework or watched anything. But I just saw a news clip when I I didn't see it. Well, I saw it on YouTube. You see like the little thumbnail, so that's what I was looking at. I just saw the little caption for it, and I was like, "What again? Come on, Lord!" So, and I think somebody at work, my old job, told me that it was a virus from Africa. But whatever, it's something here, and they're doing their thing. Whatever, Staying received another stimulus check, Biden and Kamala Harris. Just saying that. But anywho, my Thanksgiving was pretty good. I went there. They had a gender reveal. It turned out to be a girl. The family was nice. She wants to invite me back for Christmas and stuff like that. But I don't know if I'm gonna go because I'm really still skeptical about this new variant going around, and then you have COVID still out here. And I was a firm believer in telling y'all to social distance, and I'm still believing in that. I don't leave my house unless I have to go to work. I don't leave my house unless I have to do necessity shopping, which is not that often. Now, granted, I did do some Christmas shopping. I have to admit that. And I've gone out probably more than 25 times. I have a big 9-foot Christmas tree here that me and my boo are going to be decorating. And then I have these Santas right here, if y'all can see them, that I've gotten. But here's the thing. When I go to Ross, because I work at Ross, I get the shit while I'm there. Now, granted, I've gotten some stuff. I did get some stuff while I wasn't there on my off day, but I truly try. I don't know. I'm always a firm believer in I don't want to be at my job if I'm on my day off, because if I don't want to be there. So I try to get my shit while I'm there, before I clock in or after I clock in or on my lunch, so that way I ain't got to come back. Plus, because when you go to Ross, everybody knows when you go to Ross and see something, it's not I'm going to get it next time, because when you come back next time, it ain't going to even be there. Especially, even if you come back a couple hours later, it's not going to be there. But my house is very decked out in Christmas stuff right now, and I got the dogs' outfits and stockings, and me and my boo stockings and stuff like this. So I'm gonna have to I'm gonna try to do maybe a video and share that with you guys as well. And but I hope you guys did have a good Thanksgiving and your houses are decorated and your kids are doing good in school still. And all that good stuff. But moving forward into what I really want to talk about, which is mental health. Mental health this time around is because the reason why I want to talk about this, and I only want to touch on this briefly, I want you guys, and I want to shine light on TarajiPHenson. TarajiPHenson is a very, very big advocate for mental health, and she has a show on Facebook Watch, and you guys should go watch it, y'all. Go watch it. It's called Peace of Mind with TarajiPHenson. And her, if you ever need anyone to talk to, go to BorisHenson Foundation.org, and they have therapists and doctors and psychiatrists and counselors that are there that can talk with you, that can meet you in the medium, and you can find the therapist that is right for you. And it is tailored towards more African Americans, because African Americans, as we know, and as I mentioned before, black people, we don't do therapy. But we are the number one highest rated, I feel. And I'm not saying this from a statistic. I'm just speaking from my heart. I feel we're the number one rated when it comes to that stigma around crazy or mental illness, or that there's a stigma around it for black people, because we're meant to be strong black women. We're meant to be strong black men. We're meant to be strong. Nothing is supposed to be, we're supposed to be inferior to it. And we're supposed to be bold and bellicose and strong against it. And especially the darker you are, the more presumed you're supposed to be strong. And that right there is enough. And I feel that it's not only TarajiPHenson's job as a celebrity to talk about it, because she has that platform, but it's for people, regular people like me, to talk about it as well, because it's very important that we loosen up that stigma around mental health and guidance counselors and talking to them. Because granted, I've never gone to a therapist, because like I've told you guys, I'm very self-aware with myself to know that if I'm mad, I'm like, why the fuck you mad? And I counsel myself through it. But I'm not against it though. Granted, as growing up, when I would talk with guidance counselors about certain things, even about my grades. Puppies, stop it. I'm doing an episode right now. I'm basically like a dad. I have to. So sorry. when I would go to my guidance counselor and stuff like that, for when they would even want to talk to me about my grades, I will say I felt a little weird and I don't want to talk to you about my grades. These are my business. Da 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 da. And I felt weird ways about it. But I'm not against it. I just never have been the one to be advocate for it or a non-advocate for it. It's just but I am for it though. I want to shed light on it because my family. And I'm sorry I have to say this, but my family is crazy, yes. And I know I'm talking about we need to remove that stigma about you being crazy. And there's nothing wrong with you. But my family suffered. We suffer. Well, my dad, won't say that. But let's just be honest. My dad, and I'm putting quotations around it because he never really raised me. He never really fathered me. He never really did anything for me. He never really provided for me economically, emotionally, or any aspect of my life. Let's just be honest. And the very little he did was not good enough. But when it was time for him to pay child support, he claimed he has paranoid schizophrenia. No proof in that, but whatever. Leave that alone. But I'm saying this because in my family, we're bipolar depressive. We are very prone to PTSD because of family that is in the military, being in poverty, around gangs and drugs and violence. We suffer from all kinds of mental illnesses where we don't want to go seek the help because it makes it look like something's wrong with us when we're like, no, there ain't nothing wrong with me. And it's not that something is wrong with you. It's something that is wrong that is based inside of you, where we want to get you better, if that makes sense. And I will say that my family is a lot of them are very against therapy, very much against it, because black people, we don't do therapy. And I have to think that from my own personal belief, and possibly some understanding of why we don't do therapy, is because, one, we don't have the people that look like us. Why am I going to go talk to a white person about black people problems? And I know that there's that. And I know it's like, Javier, why are you turning it into a race thing? The reason why I have to turn it into a race thing is because, let's just be honest, white people problems are not the same as black people problems. They don't have PTSD about seeing our own kind on TV getting murdered, like Ahmaud Arbery was, or Breonna Taylor or George Floyd, literally on TV. We don't see that. They don't see that. You know, they don't see I think, and they don't never see us on TV, them getting whipped by a master or a slave owner, even if it is in a movie. You know, they don't, we do a lot of black on black crime. We crack, drugs, and alcohol, all of those things. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of those, the drug abuse, the alcohol abuse, the physical abuse, the mental abuse, all that is in the black community. All of that. That's in every community pretty much, but it's really high in black communities. And I think it has arced its way into our culture in a good way and in a bad way because of the fact of is where we've come from and the fights we've had to endure as a community as a whole as black people, and the fights that we're continuing to have to endure with Black Lives Matter, and the things that are racially and justified that are on us, about us, with us, for us, and against us. All of that combined. And so our black people's mental health goes way deeper than just, oh, let's sit down and talk with someone else about it. It's about that we don't have those type of people that look like us, or that can be relatable. Okay, let's take a look back. Bump the fact that, okay, on one hand, and this is where the analytical eye comes in. Let's look at it as the race thing. Well, fine. Let's go to a white therapist. But how can they relate to us? Me being a convict, how can I relate to someone who has a doctorate's degree and come from a long line of generational wealth? There's no relatability there. I'm a rape victim. How can I talk to someone who hasn't potentially been raped before, that hasn't been able to go through that and experience that and get to the other side of forgiveness and joy and happiness and being able to deal with that PTSD or that depression or that illness that's in my mind, that tick? I can't relate to someone who hasn't never experienced that. I can't relate to someone that doesn't speak the slang that I'm talking. I can't. What about someone who has a whole family, but I come from a single mother, a single father household, and they come from a full-fledged family. They won't know what it's like to not have a family and someone that doesn't love you, whatever that is, or someone who has no education. This person has a degree, but I don't have a degree. How can they relate to me if they haven't been somewhere in my shoes? And so I feel as for black people, it has been that stigma around something is wrong with you, but it's also been around we can't relate to nobody. And the people we relate to, we all fucking crazy. We all got something wrong with us. That stigma. We all got that crazy. That's us. But we have nobody that has gotten to the other side of that crazy or the other side of that stigma and said, let me relate to them. Let me talk with them. We don't have that in our community because it's frowned upon, it's not spoken upon, and it's not praised upon. And in the Bible, and this is the crazy thing about black people, we're so enriched in our culture, in our religion. But in the Bible, it also says it's good to have therapy. It's good to have a counselor. It says that in the Bible. There's so many things black people we talk about from that Bible, that book, that holy grail. But we never stop to actually look at some of the things that it really says in that Bible. And then one of the biggest things that black people don't never understand or think about is the Bible says it's good counseling. And I mention the Bible because church people always say, oh, go pray about it. Go talk with God about it. But God even says in the Bible, his words say in so many words, counseling is good. Go to a therapist. It's nothing wrong with that. Because not everything you can do with a prayer. Yes, pray. I'm not saying prayer can never hurt prayer can never hurt. Let's be honest. Medicine can, people can, but prayer can never hurt. Let me lay that out there, and I'm not against it. But what I'm saying is sometimes prayer doesn't do you justice. It doesn't. Because you prayed about it. What now? Now what? What you gonna do? You have to talk about it. You have to talk, and sometimes it's better to talk about it. To see me, I can talk about it to myself as if I was somebody else that's sitting there and saying, hey, this is what I'm dealing with. I can go in the mirror and talk about it and get it flushed out of my system. But some people can't do that. Not because they are not brilliant. Not saying that I'm more brilliant or I'm more capable. It's just some people don't have that ability to, because the way that they've been raised, the generational hardship and arc around not being able to talk about your feelings and express yourself, especially with our black men. But we've never been conditioned on our brain to be able to talk about what was going on in our brains and acknowledge it and talk about it and process it and feel those feelings and feel it and get into those feelings and work through those feelings and know how to get past those feelings and being able to understand how to not get back there to that situation, to those feelings in that situation again. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to black people, it's good to pray. But prayer don't allow you to work through it. It's just the prayer is to, Lord, help me work through it. But the Lord is saying to you, hey, I've blessed you with counselors. I blessed you with therapists and psychiatrists to do this. And another thing that I want to talk about in the mental health is when I'm going to tell you something. I had a doctor named Dr. Schneider. I believe that was his name. David Schneider or was it Schneider? He was at Children's Hospital. And he was a really good doctor. And I told him at one point in time in my life where I was really, really down and out. And this was like in high school. And I think at that time I was working at Walmart. Yeah, I was. That was my first job. And I remember telling him that I don't feel right. I feel very down a lot of days right now. And I'm just not feeling really good about myself. So he prescribed me some antidepressants. Because my family, like I told you guys, is a long list of bipolar and manic depressant and very have anger management issues and come from a volatile family and background with drug abuse and alcohol abuse and physical abuse and sexual abuse in my family. And so he knows that. And just from when you get a doctor, they just start like going over certain things in the very beginning with you, of like the things that how your family's like. They want to get a brief description of who you are as a person and where you come from. And so he knows some things. And so he's like, well, with your background, do you think it would be great for you or do you think it would be possibly good for you to maybe do some antidepressant pills or something that can level you out? And I said, sure, I'll try it. Yeah, sure. So he prescribed me the medication, but I never took it. And then I got on the phone with my older sister, Latrice, one day, and I said, hey, Treese, yeah, the doctor prescribed me this medication and such and such. And she said, Javier, I recommend you not take it. And the reason why you not take it is because once you take it, you become dependent on that medication to make you happy. The reason why doctors prescribe medications, and this is part of the whole big capitalism thing that I talked with y'all about, how about these pharmaceutical companies want to get rich off of you and your illnesses and you getting better, is because you become dependent on that medication. When you become dependent on that medication, you're going to always need it to balance and level you out. Let me explain to you what antidepressants and those type of medications do to you. Doctors tell you, well, okay, you're happy. I don't know the actual correct terminologies, but I'm just going to sell it to you. I want to give it to you in layman terms because that's how I liked it would be explained to me too. Your happy levels. What makes you happy? What makes you sad? What makes you joyful? What makes you sexual? What makes you this? All that is affected by how you feel. And one thing you have to understand is and this goes back to when I was watching this episode with Living Single, when Khadijah, aka Queen Latifah, she was going to a psychiatrist, and she said, I want you to go ahead and take time out for yourself. And I'm going to go back to the whole pharmaceutical thing in a minute, but stay on the road with me. I'll stay on the road with me. She said, I want you to go and take time for yourself. She said, I can't do that. I got this. I ain't got time for that. Da, da, da. So she said, okay, fine. I will prescribe you with antidepressants. It will cause vomiting, nausea, lack of sex. She said, going. I'm going. Now, this is just a little joke to throw in there. Those are side effects to that, guys. But there's also side effects that they don't tell you. When you're watching the end of that commercial of a pharmaceutical company, it's like, this thing has nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, lack of sex drive, lack of this, lack of da-da-da-da-da, and prone to death. But you don't follow that because the commercial's about to end. Another thing they don't tell you is that you become dependent on that medication. And those pharmaceutical companies get rich off of you and your health and your well-being. Now, the Bible doesn't talk about taking medication. It talks about therapists and counseling and psychiatrists. But pharmaceutical companies get rich off of your health. And the number one thing they don't tell you over all of that stuff is you become dependent on that medication. And my sister said, Javier, you're going to become dependent on that medication. Why do you want a pill, this tiny pill, to make you happy? And it's funny because I actually still have those pills to this day, but I have never taken them. She said, why would you want to become dependent on that medication? And granted, my mom does take antidepressant pills. And I don't know if she still does now because I think she's been doing better. And you can, let me think. Let me say this. And I'm not against the antidepressant pills 100%. I'm more 95% because there's some people that actually really need it. But for me, I didn't want to become dependent on a medication to make me happy. To make me, if I'm sad, I'm going to take one so I can lift my spirit. I want to work through that. I want to work through that anger. I want to work through that sadness. I want to work through that and work through my tics in my brain and not allow a medication that has so many side effects and me being dependent on it to make me joyful, to make me happy. I want my boo to make me happy. I want my life to make me happy. I want me to make me happy. I want the things of looking at my house and knowing I have my own home and the things that those simple things make me happy. I want to be able to work through my angers and the things that tick me and trick me and make me go down that rabbit hole. I want to work through all of that. I don't want to allow a medication to make me satisfied. Yeah. And so I want to tell you guys right now, do what you think is best. Don't let your doctor push you to take medication if you don't feel it's right for you. And like I said, yes, you can be weaned off that medication. Yes. But it's really hard to. Because now your body has gotten so used to this providing you with your dopamine. I don't know what that is, but I'm just going to say that it's to make you happy. This is to improve your stamina in bed. This is the medication helps you improve this, and then when you're not on that no more. Now it's like, what do I do? What do I do? And there have been cases where people wean themselves off of that medication, and then now they become worse than what they were before when they started the medication. Want to know why? Because their bodies have gotten so used to that medication and gotten so used to allowing that be what make them happy. And I didn't want that for myself, and I don't want that for you guys. And that's why I'm promoting more psychiatrists. And granted, and that's the thing that pisses me off. Psychiatrists and counseling should be 100% approved by your healthcare provider, by your insurance. But it's not. It's not. Because they want you to get that medication. Because that's what not only makes the pharmaceutical companies more, but guess where the insurance companies get their money from? Pharmaceutical companies. Because there's the co-pays and the payouts and the stuff that you have to pay from not being not just out of pocket, but from what the insurance company covers, but it's because it makes them money as well. All that is in capitalism. So that's why I'm saying do what's best for you in your mental state and your mental mindset when it comes to medication and when it comes to should I talk to a psychiatrist or a therapist or a counselor versus medication. And I'm promoting an advocacy more for being dependent on talking to someone that can help you work through things and give you better navigational tools to help you get better in life and help your mind get better than something that you can't talk to and you take once a day to become dependent on and make you happy, because that's not going to always work. And it has been proven that some people that even go on those antidepressants get worse while they're on it, and some don't even, it doesn't help. It just doesn't help, you know. And so like I said, make sure you do that and watch TarajiPHenson show, y'all, because it really blesses your life to understand the position of, being able to understand the position of where our community comes from when it comes to talking about the things that are deemed fit as something is wrong with us. Because when there's nothing wrong with us, there's nothing wrong with us, black people. We just need a little help getting into a happier state of mind, a peace of mind, because that's what it's all about, is being peaceful in our mind, in our heart, in our bodies, in our souls. And like I've said, I think the arc of where black people's frustration and the troubleness and the troublesome of why we won't go to a counselor is from, I would say honestly, going back to slavery days. And I know that it's always like where we always connect everything back to slavery, but it's true. It's true. We've gone through so much hardship, and that hardship just doesn't go away because now it's a new generation embarking on new challenges that are in a new century. Because technically we're still enslaved. We're just in a new way. We have our brothers in the prison systems. No. Hey. Come on now. I'm doing a show. Leave me alone, please. Hey. What I say? No. What I say? You don't listen. Stop it. I guess they want to be on camera too, but they're just too big to pick up, y'all. I'm sorry. I do want to show y'all them, but they're just a little too big to pick up right now. But it really does go back to slavery. It really does. And we're still enslaved to this day, like I said, because our brothers are in the prison system. And we, as African Americans, we make up about 13 to 14% of the United States population. And what is it? I think as they said, like over 50% of the population of the jail system is African Americans. And so we're still striving and look at this past year. The number one death toll in America was black people. Whether it was wrongfully killed by a cop or by another black person or by another outside of our race, it's black people. We're still enduring so much hardship and no one's talking about it. We feel, and that's what we go based off of, rather than channeling that feeling into allowing our brain to think and then acting upon it. So we have a long way to go, y'all. I'm so sorry. I didn't even take off my glasses. I'm so sorry, y'all. But I actually kind of like having the shades on. But you know, it's very important, very very important that we talk about mental health within our Black community, especially with PTSD, with our men and our soldiers coming back from the military. Very much so when it comes to how to arc yourself back into society after you've been in this correction and rehabilitation center that's supposed to be the jail center that's supposed to help rehabilitate you and get you better and correct you. But ain't no correction going on. Ain't no rehabilitation going on. All they're doing is just making you worse. Hey! Stop it. And so, sorry y'all, I'm look, this is my life. This is my life now. So it's it's the nature of the game, and we have to talk about it all. And I've been there. I'm still there. I still struggle with understanding how I operate in my happy days and my sad days and my mad days and my confusing days and my misunderstanding days and my understanding days and my ugly days and my soulful praising happy days. It's all a mixture and combination of one, and we're humans. And as Black people, we have to stop putting so much pressure on ourselves to be strong. It's okay to be weak, because sometimes there's more strength in weakness than there is in you being strong and hiding your weaknesses and hiding the things that you are considered that are not you, not just you, but the society as a whole has considered as a flaw to you. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to voice something that is disturbing you, do just that. It's gonna hurt you more to keep it in than to let it off your shoulders. You need to feel the weight lifted off your shoulders every now and then. You know, so it's okay to sometimes keep some stuff stuffed together, but eventually it will come out, and you want it to come out the right way. So for me, I've always done check-ins with myself, even when I'm just laying in bed and I'm bored. I'm thinking about how I'm feeling. Why am I feeling that way? Address yourself in the mirror. Study yourself in the mirror. That's what I do a lot. I study myself in the mirror, and I find out why I was pissed off, or why I was mad, or what did I do, or what did they do. How can I change that? That's what you have to do as an individual. And I do want to talk about this further with y'all next Sunday, because I really want to give you guys some more tips and tricks and tools on what things I do specifically for myself, as far as being my own counselor, my own therapist, my own psychiatrist, in the sense of understanding myself better. Because honestly, ever since I turned 15, I started really studying myself and studying who Javier Vassal Rutherford truly is as a person, before my talent, before being someone's friend, before being someone's lover, before being God's child. Who is Javier Vassal Rutherford? Who is Javier Artrell Vassal Rutherford to me? And understanding me and how I operate and why I operate this way, and accepting that and respecting that and loving that and knowing that that's never going to change. And this is who I am. So I am going to speak with you guys more about this next Sunday. But let's start to work together to remove the stigma around being that something is wrong with us, because there is nothing wrong with you. You just have something that's in you that just needs to be worked out. You have a tick in your brain that causes you worrisome, that causes you troublesome, that causes you anger, causes you sadness, causes you hurt, causes you despair, causes you pain, causes you to be unfaithful or argumentative, or be non-trustworthy. Those things. So let's continue to talk about this, y'all. Let's continue to work towards this. And remember, the key things to take away from this is to not be dependent on medication if you do not need it. Don't allow your doctors to pressure you on medication if you do not need it. Ask yourselves Ask yourself and other people about psychiatrists and doctors and people that can help you voice and talk about things and air out grievances and things of that nature. Make sure you visit the BorisHensonFoundation.org, where TarajiPHenson and her wonderful staff and organization are doing great things for the African American community when it comes to voicing and understanding and finding therapists for you that work for you, that are relatable to you, whether it's in a different skin color or within our own black community, when it comes to talking, getting guidance counseling for families, for individuals, for loved ones, for friends, for parents, for teachers, for your college professors, for your family, for yourself, for your mind. There's a difference. So make sure we gotta talk about it, y'all. Gotta talk about it. But again, I want to thank TarajiPHenson for making this more of a bigger discussion than it is. And it's sad that these type of shows don't actually get aired on actual national television. But we're going to get there with that. We're going to remove the stigma around black people when it comes to mental health, because it's gone on too long. It's been over 400 plus years and counting of suffrage with our women and men and not talking about these type of things. And I know suffrage is really the definition of word for women's suffrage, but I'm going to say suffrage because it makes sense to me. You're suffering. We're suffering. And so we need to talk about it. There's only one way to talk about it. We cannot get past it. We cannot continue to push things underneath the rug, and what goes on in this house stays in this house. Bump that. If something is hurting you and there's something going on in this house, we gonna get some help and we gonna talk about it, and we gonna sorry, what did I say? Hey, come on now, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna air it out. We're gonna get it out because we have to. There's no other way, my black people. We cannot continue to go on like this. We need to be there for one another and talk things out, whether instead of using weapons and guns and stuff. And I'm pot called the kettle black because of the incident that just happened with me this past week. But again, we're going to talk about this more next Sunday. I appreciate y'all for watching so much. Make sure you check out the other 2 episodes that are on this Sunday, entitled Losing 19, which I'm going to go further into. And the other episode that I will be talking about, or the other episode is entitled let's see. I forgot what I entitled the other episode to be, but make sure you check them both out. Make sure you check them both out. They're going to inspire your life and get you. And I will see you guys next Sunday. But I thank you so much for watching The Analytical Eye Show. I'm back. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, as you know, at Javier Vassal. And you can follow the show on Facebook and Instagram at The Analytical Eye Show. And on Twitter, it's iAnalytical. I thank you guys so much. Again, Mom, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, Monique. And God bless you, TarajiPHenson, and thank you for giving black people this platform enough to talk about things that need to be aired. And when you go there and watch, they have statistics, they have doctors and lawyers and actual experts and actual people that are experiencing things from all accounts and walks from life, from the entertainment industry to the sports industry of Olympics and football and music and movies and people that are just everyday life that are experiencing things, teachers and stuff like that. And so make sure you guys check out that show because it's really a good, amazing show. I thank you guys so much. God bless you all. Peace and love. And I will see you guys next Sunday on the Analytical Eye Show. Cheers. Cheers again.